What is going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. Of course, it is Friday. I'm sorry about missing the show last week, and, well, Tuesday, had to save my fish from drowning. So we are back, and we are live and direct. What is going on, everyone? We just finished up with the Rolling Thunder podcast, and we had Vega on there, and, of course, Casey and Scott. So I feel like we can go over a topic today about Cone Area versus X-Max, but before we get to that, I got a special guest, okay? This guy, I know we almost had Bobby B on last week, but we're going to get Bobby on again. But this guy is close to my heart, man. Let's introduce Cookie Monster!
Yo, yo, yo.
What is going on? It's so nice to actually talk to you, man. You know, I've been abusing you for years and just doing hair tricks. It's really nice to, you know, put a face to the box, man. What's going on?
We got to talk about this, man. Can we play something under 40 hertz for once in our lives?
You know, it's killing me, but I guess, you know what? You already proved your worth. I guess we can do that.
Yeah.
I guess we can.
Yeah, man. And keep your kids off me, man. They're just going nuts up there.
Come on,
got sippy cups all over, juice.
Hey, they like you as much as I do, so yeah. No. Thanks for joining, Rob. This is awesome, man. You know, I didn't expect you to come on, but you know what? You're that dude, man. You helped me out so much, and we are one and the same, dude. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah, man. No problem. Yeah, we're just getting going, man. This guy had to get a haircut though.
It's once you do one live, it's like, well, I can do another live. I can keep talking. I'm already going. Yeah. I'm already rolling. Let's do it.
Oh, I know you can. I've seen you and Kip on here for 3.5 hours.
Oh man, that was crazy. 90 minutes ish, you know. That's how it goes.
Like keeping 90 minutes.
Got to throw out the shout outs. Deviant celebrating the return of 14.4 volt talk and Deviant 25. You mean the dynamic duo? I thought 14 were retired, but okay, they are back in action. What's going on, buddy? And of course, El Fuego, living loud, living load on Friday nights with Andy. What's going on, man? Let's see. Yeah, appreciate you guys with the super chats, man. David. What's going on, Dave? You are awesome, man. Love you, buddy. Hope everything is going good. I heard you are home alone tonight, so maybe we can stream a little longer just because you ain't got nothing else better to do. Larissa's out, you know, out with her friends or doing what she's doing, so.
Yeah, he's in the hot tub, got the phone.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. That's the way to do it, though. That's the way to do it. I got one question here. I wanted to throw this up before I lost it. Larry, what is going on, man? He said, I told my buddy that if he wanted the most SPL going into his ears, I was going to build him a helmet with 2/8 mounted to the side of an install rubber gasket. You know what? That's funny because I brought that up to my buddy Jeffy when we were working last night. I was like, dude, did you ever take a subwoofer and play it not in the box and just hold it to your ear? It sounds so good, and it's like the richest bass, and it's just something cool, because we were talking about headphones, and I'm like, dude, have you tried this?
Yeah.
I can't. Got lots of comments, man. Holy moly. Let's see here. Facebook user, hey, Andy, what's going on? If you want your name to be displayed, there's a little link on top of the video that you're watching right now, and you click that, let Facebook allow StreamYard, and I'll be able to see your name. But thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. I do. Yeah, let's do our roll call here. Got 25. What's going on, man? 25, 14.4 volt news. You know them. Let's see here. What the hell else would I be? What's going on, Larissa? Bobby B in Disneyland. I'm telling you, it is in his backyard. It's in his backyard.
Like
must be nice, man.
Him and Dean are brothers from another mother, man. They live at Disney.
That's crazy. I want to go down there. Kayla has never been to Disneyland or Disney World. Yeah. And it's like, we need to go. And like the boys are almost at that age where it's like perfect. So, you know, hopefully.
It's exhausting, but, you know, you got to do it when they're kids. You got to do all that stuff.
And that's the thing with vacation. It's like you never really get to relax. It's like you're working more on vacation than when you're at home. It seems like. Let's see. What's going on, RGA? Thanks for tuning in, man.
Voice. Nice.
Nom, 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 nom. Dan said, what's up, Rob? What's going on, Dan? Thanks for tuning in, man. We had him on the Rolling Thunder podcast one time, too.
Nice.
Cookie Monster, I heard your box got wet. Yeah, that's going good. I just dropped off about $150 in supplies to Tony, and I think he's going to start on some of it, and I'm going to be wind up coming down there to go over, the details. Like, hey, I like this here, and that looks good. Let's do that. It's going to be stronger than it was before. Like, literally screws, nails, you name it, man. It's going to be in, and it ain't, that box is never coming apart. I mean, you could, but there's not going to be much wood left.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, I was like, maybe next time we'll just build it out of metal. It seems like that's what everyone else is doing these days. Just crazy stuff, just so, it doesn't break down,
It might it's right now, wood's so high, it probably wouldn't be much more to build it out of metal.
No, about the same price. Yeah, that's crazy too, man. I haven't went to Home Depot and looked at the 3/4 inch wood, but I've been seeing pictures, man, and it's almost twice the price.
Yeah.
I can't get over that. What's going on, Andrew? Thanks for tuning in, man. Let's see. And you guys are crazy in the comment section. I think I'm way far behind, but it's okay. I'm gonna get to him. She's at home. Okay. Oh, she's looking over your shoulder right now.
Oh damn,
yeah,
he's in trouble, man.
Yep.
Did you get the strippers out in time? Were they out of the house?
I cannot see you now. Yeah, no, yeah, you got to get them out before she comes home.
Go get out of here. Go on now, get it.
What's up, Andy and Rob? Need more gravy. We always need more gravy, right?
Always.
That's the best way. You know what I mean? It's like you can set your system to a clean signal, but it's like, does it sound, exactly great on every type of music you're playing? Sometimes you got to give it a little bit more gravy. The turkey might be a little dry. You know what I mean? Just a little.
Oh, hey, and I get credit for that, but I actually got that from my very good friend, JDR. That's his thing. He's like, man, we tune it, we get it set up, but we leave room for gravy. You got to pour a little gravy on every now and again.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Andy, is that the new hoodie? Yes, this is the new Living Loud with Andy hoodie. On the back here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it without me knocking my whole display over.
Stay living loud.
I try to make it as big as I could. It works. It's like, well, if you're already paying that much for a hoodie, might as well make the print as big as you can and put something on the back. Might as well,
Right.
It's cool. It's like, I feel like it's like a car audio thing. Like if you got something on the front, you got to have something on the back when you're walking away because you're at a car show. People are looking at you, at all different angles. So
yeah, you got
absolutely,
to
man. Heck yeah, dude. Let's see. Lots of comments. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Jeez. You guys got any questions for Rob? Drop them, but I'm going to get to the topic here in a minute. Let's see. DIY audio guys up in here. What's going on, man?
Yo, Justin, what's poppin'?
Got William. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate you guys. I do. Let's see. Got John. What's going on, John? I'm here. I switched over instead. There you go. Yeah, you were the Facebook guy. Yeah, no. It's a lot easier with YouTube. It's because we are streaming in the Kicker Club. I figured, why not? I'll stream in there for you guys too. And it works. But yeah, there's always that little problem with Facebook with the Kicker groups, or just Kicker groups, the groups themselves.
It's the groups, yeah. Because if you're just watching it on your own Facebook feed, it's fine. But the groups, yeah.
I know. I just don't understand. It's just the groups, and it's something with Facebook. It's like they don't.
Yeah, they don't like YouTube. That's clear. It's very
doesn't
clear.
make sense.
Yeah.
Let's see here. See, John is always dropping this bomb on Kicker all the time, and they're answering it half the time. Which is better, square slot or airport? Okay, I thought this was the square sub versus square port question. Usually he's on that. You know which one I like better, John, the Aeroport for sure, for efficiency and for installation. But if you want not simplicity as in design of the box, but just applying it to the enclosure. But if you're already cutting the box, I mean, it is a little bit easier just, cutting another slab of piece of wood and cutting a hole, and it just goes right together, corner port or a slot port or however which way you do it, man.
Square ports suck. Square ports suck, so we can mark those out.
Yeah,
slot ports I like. Slot ports I like. Octagon are okay, but slot ports, aeroports, I like aeroports because you can have some adjustability in your tune without rebuilding your enclosure.
Right.
I like slot ports because you get free bracing with slot ports. It's more economical most of the times. If you have your box designed out, you know exactly what you're going to do. You don't need to change it. Slot ports are great. if, on the other hand, you might want to do some tuning, you don't know exactly what you're going to do, Aeroport all the way.
Right. I know. That's why I grabbed the Aeroport for Cookie Monster when I first built it. I'm like, well, I don't know exactly, you know, and I want some flexibility. Well, turned out I built it so tight in there, I literally couldn't, I couldn't, you know, change it without taking the whole box apart. Because, believe it or not, when you got a 22-inch port going in there and you're playing, you know, 20 hertz, 30 hertz, that thing is moving. You can brace them and stuff, but then again, you're going to have to take that whole box apart. So there is that, you know, problem. But if you have a big enough enclosure and you don't mind it wobbling, it'll work, especially for testing purposes. So what we're doing this time is, because it actually started to come apart a little bit. When we took the whole box out and everything, we noticed that, you know, the Gorilla Glue duct tape was starting to give way and the port was like, you know, starting to come apart. So we just got that PVC cement. We're just going to literally just tie it all together.
So is it legitimate Aeroport, or did you use like the cement forms?
It's the big ass ports.
Yeah. So
BAP.
PVC.
Yeah, it's the PVC. It's like the ones got the little slivers you can interchange or whatever. And I never interchanged anything. I feel like if I would make the port shorter, I would put the tuning up a little bit. It's around 29. But it's really just going to make the enclosure bigger, the port smaller, and just make it chuff more compared to just having it longer, taking up more airspace. So,
dude, you know what? You might consider a sonotube with a flange, because you can fiberglass reinforce sonotube.
Oh.
So you can drill holes through sonotube, small holes, and fiberglass both sides. That way they're bonded on both sides.
Okay.
And it'll give you a lot more strength than PVC.
Wow. I might have to look into that before Tony does all the stuff to it. But yeah, because the only thing is, like, with the flare on the inside, I kind of underestimated how big the flare is on the 10-inch Aero. I only got about 12.5 inches from top to bottom where that port comes out into the inside of the box. So I literally have some of it chopped off so it's flush. So I would have to make a new flare and then do the same thing with that to make that work. So absolutely, man.
Or you can
I
cut
never
the flare
thought
off
about that.
And sonotube over it or into it.
Oh, like shape it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
See, I never did any of that kind of stuff. I seen people do it where they just get that tube. It's just the cardboard, right? And then they just leave it. You know, they don't put any fiberglass on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it looks great. You might as well built your box out of cardboard, the whole thing, you know?
Hey, there's been a lot of projects like sonotube subs, but they often reinforce it.
Right. You would almost have to, because it's just not strong enough after it's one point. Facebook user, what's going on? But wouldn't raising your tuning help with resonant frequency? There's so many variables it could, but then how the woofer reacts with the enclosure and then the vehicle. I do have a smaller vehicle, but the box takes up so much. It's like the resonant frequency isn't really, I'm not getting that much cabin gain because there's not much vehicle to gain the cabin, gain the SPL. So it's literally, I'm tuning at 29, I'm peaking at 32. So it's pretty efficient. And I got that second bump at the low end at like 16, 17 hertz just because, you know, wind life. But yeah, it honestly could. But with my particular build, not as much. I would rather just open up the port more and then make it maybe a little bit shorter. And then you would get a very higher, like a lot higher tuning compared to just making it shorter. You'd probably be at like 36, 38 hertz if you had like a 12-inch Aero. And then you might gain, but then how much are you really gaining? You might have to make the box smaller because you're just reaching mechanical limit because the port's too big. There's a lot of factors with it. So
have
with
you
that
ever
build,
run
I'm keeping it.
a single 15 in Cookie Monster?
No, it's funny you mention that. But no, I have that 15L5 that I used to use for the test demos or the amp dynos and stuff. I have that in Kayla's car. It's on a CX1800, but it's in a prefab box, nothing fancy. But it sounds really good for what it is. It's probably like a 142, 143 dB at like 46, 47 hertz. But in the Cookie Monster, like, you mean the box, the one that I have now, that big?
Just the whole vehicle. I have a hypothesis. I think that you would not be able to play as low. I think if you had the same sub in a 15 with a tweaked enclosure, you could actually gain SPL.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I know a few guys that actually have an Eclipse like mine, and their box is a lot smaller, and they have a 15. They're clamping like 4K, and they're doing like a 54. And Right. I just kind of, whenever I built the box, I was just like, well, I'm going to build it as big as I can with the specs that it can recommend, around
Right.
10 cubes. And I want to play low. And I learned that just by messing with smaller systems, messing with the ports and the real big enclosures. And you can get that nasty low frequency. And I didn't think it was going to be 16 hertz, but I was trying to aim for like 25. So it kind of just went a little lower. But yeah, man, I wasn't really going for SPL because I'm like, I like this sub,
Right.
but I want hair tricks. I always wanted hair tricks. I thought they were the coolest thing. Absolutely, dude. With the Solo X18, and I didn't have much power. If you're doing SPL, you need some power.
Exactly.
I didn't have as much power as I do now, and even at that point, if I'm doing SPL, I want to push about 4K to that guy, and then I'm doing 53s, 54s, and like 8 cubes with like a 12-inch arrow or like 100 square inches of port. Because it's a smaller box, there's more space for the air to go around the woofer in the box, and there's more cabin, so you got more gain, and then just so many factors. But yeah, man, a 15 would probably work. That's why whenever they came out with the L7X, I'm like, man, 15 would be nice to throw in there, but it's like, man, I'd rather just put an 18 in there. So I
think a L7 L7X15 would play pretty low. I think you could swap it out and do better SPL wise, and probably play just as low and probably sound a little bit better. Maybe.
Right. Honestly, because it's just like whenever you're picking a size sub or how many subs you're putting in your car, you almost want something that's going to work better with the application rather than just what you want. And that's kind of what I ran into. Yeah, the Eclipse
a lot
is
of
not
times
a
it's
very
what
big
you
car.
got. It's what you got. It's I have these subs, so I'm gonna make these subs work.
Thanks, bro. It's all good, man. Let's see here. We got lots of people, man. I'm sorry I'm not answering your comments, but we got Rob on here. We're digging deep. So before I start going back to all these comments and stuff, cone area versus X-Max.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's one that's better than the other? What do you look for? And I think there's a poll in here. Yeah, we got a poll going here in the YouTube. What's your opinion on that?
So you have a trick question because all of these are a factor. Every single thing you have listed, cone area, X-Max, power handling, and subwoofer, is it a factor depending on your system? I chose cone area just because I'm an old school guy, but I'm actually lying to myself because honestly, nowadays I would rather have a smaller driver in my vehicle versus a bigger driver. And I like them because they're small and they're compact, they're easy to use. So in my case, X-Max and power handling over cone area right now for size. Power is so cheap. Back in the day, power wasn't cheap. Power was very expensive.
I think you got a point there. You got a point.
Subwoofers were cheap. You could throw $100. You can get 15-inch $100 subwoofers all day, and you could build a wall of them, and or a clamshell, and that's how you were going to get your numbers. Well, today, power is so cheap, you can get those numbers any way you want it. Do you want to get it efficiently with cone area? You can do that right now. Do you want to get it just by throwing a boatload of cheap power to it? You can do that. Do you want to get it with small drivers with crazy excursion? You can do that as well. And if you want to just have a ton of subwoofers, you can do that. So it's all application dependent.
Right. And I think you hit the nail on the head there with just how much X-Max is available with the power to make that woofer move that far. And obviously they have to have control to be able to move that far, so they have tight suspension. They need power.
Right.
What made me kind of bring this topic up, I was talking to Caleb about it a little bit. I seen this guy on Baseheads on a Budget or one of the groups, and he was like, let me see your float tricks with under 200 square inches of cone area. And I'm like looking at the video, he's floating a little bag, and I'm like, okay, that's nice. And then I'm like, I bet you he's got like some Sundown Type X or something that just got a ton of excursion. And of course he did. He had that on like a 4K amp or a 5K amp, and it's like, well, you only have 2 10s in your trunk, but those 10s move like 1.5 inches each way.
Right.
So I feel like, there are a lot of variables with how woofers make and produce, rectify and rarefy air, and SPL and all that fun stuff. Compression, levitation, let's just throw out those fancy words. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if your cylinder is this big or this big. It also matters how far it moves back and forth. And at the end of the day, it is a piston.
Right.
So I feel like, I almost ran into something. I'm like, man, they should have something where you can get an idea of how to compare woofers. You can say RMS and all those other factors. But I thought about it. I was like, if you don't have to go too technical of like the effective cone area, the SD, but you can at least look at the size of the woofer, multiply it by the millimeter of X-Max. Now hear me out. If the X-Max is rated correctly, you'll get an idea. And then there's also the factor, well, you're going to go past X-Max. There's a thing called X-Mech where the sub's going to keep going. Yeah. So there are, it's not a perfect situation, but if you multiply the X-Max times the size of the cone area, it'll give you an idea of, well, should I go with 210s with 15 millimeters of X-Max or 212s with 10? It'll give you an idea, and it's like, well, they're about the same because this has less and that has more. So is cone area king? Not by itself. And back in the day, it almost was because woofers didn't have the advantage of, having 2-3 inches of excursion, and they needed big enclosures to get loud. And they had loose suspension. So everything you said wraps it up, man. But I just wanted to see what other people thought as well. So
yeah, it's everything. You can do it any way you want to do it nowadays. So it's just a matter of what your application is. See this Dan O'Brien, this goes right into like the analogy for this. You can take a 7.3 liter Ford Power Stroke diesel, and you can do, 500 horse, 500 foot-pounds of torque. You can also take a 2JZ with a turbocharger that's a 3 liter, and you can do 1,000 horse with 600 foot-pounds of torque. It's just a matter of how you want to do it.
Right, exactly. And I feel like a lot of people, it can get misconstrued. And I don't know. I just thought it was something to talk about, because it's just
like this the small like the Sundown, the small X6.
Yeah,
I think it is. Or no, the 8. What's the 8? They have the high end 8. It's like a turbocharged.
Isn't it like a 9-inch? It's like a 9-inch sub, though. It's not a technically. Yeah. It's like oversized or something.
And that's a whole other thing, because all subs they just fit them in these categories, but often they're much bigger or smaller than what the actual measurements are. But to make people happy, they have to. Jason Wood, what's he?
Obviously knows me, trolling me.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you call me the fakest kicker fan, especially right now, you're insane. You're insane. No, I appreciate everyone tuning. We got 43 people tonight. They must love you, Rob. They must love you.
Oh, man. No, they know they love you. I'm just here for the fun.
Nah, it's nice to have someone to talk about this real time, because it's a topic, man. It really is, because there's always people, they're like, oh, well, I got my 10 and it's got 3 inches of excursion, and it's like, okay, that's great. Well, my 18 only moves this far, but I can be a lot louder with that. But I feel like that's where technology is moving, because people want to get the most air for their space. So if you have a smaller driver, say a 12 or something like that, but it's got 3 inches of excursion, you can fit a lot more of them in there. So it will do more bass because it's just moving further. And I feel like those type of woofers work better in a smaller enclosure, so you can run more of them, and they're still going to perform. And that's what people do, man. You see it all the time with those insane 165 plus builds. They're packed in there, man. They really are.
And people want you to tell them what's the best, when there's never what's the best. The actual answer is what's the best for your situation.
Right, exactly. And that's where it comes down to, because like you said, there is no best, but it's best for you. And I feel like that can't be, emphasized anymore, man. But that's what's nice about what we do here, because we can talk to people that are new in a car audio and be like, listen, here, man, I wish someone could, be one-on-one with me right now and be like, hey, will this work or this work? As long as we got the time, we don't mind helping people out. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, what do you got? What are you looking for? You know what I mean? Because there is no best. There is no best.
Yeah. Well, you know, people don't want to waste their money, and I totally get that. But sometimes the way you learn is just trying it. You know, try something and see how it works out for you.
Right. Exactly, man. You know, that's the thing. Like, I love Kicker and stuff, but I've tried other brands, you know, and it's not like another brand isn't going to work better or worse per se, but it's what is best for my situation.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to do. And price, man. Price does come down to it. You know, if you're just trying
definitely.
to get by your skin of your teeth, man, there's some options out there. But just remember, you're going by the skin of your teeth.
Yeah.
Mullen's got a good question here. So X-Max and power or cone area and efficiency. I think if you're competing maybe and you're trying to stay in a power class, or if you're just trying to not upgrade your electrical and all, you know, the 9 yards of doing stuff, or if you're trying to get something that can dig deep, you know, and you don't mind throwing a bunch of power and you don't got as much space, I feel like that's where it comes down to, like we're saying, what is the best case scenario for you? What do you think about that, Rob?
I would actually, I want to say cone area and efficiency because I want the most efficient system I can have. But if I can only choose one, I'm going X-Max and power, just because I don't want big drivers. So,
right. So is it the size just taken up, or the size that the enclosure is required for that size of a subwoofer?
Both.
But yes.
So
yes,
you know,
okay.
because you can get an 8-inch driver or a 10-inch driver in a fairly small enclosure. It can be compact and out of the way, versus, you know, 212s. You're looking at a minimum of like 3 cubes for 212s, and that's minimal.
Right.
You're not even getting your top performance. So
No. Right, and that's a good point too, because with the X-Max, you can make up for the less cone area, but because it has more excursion, and maybe it, depending the sub, it might require a smaller box, and you can get close to the same performance of the 212s with a smaller box. But it all depends. It really does all depend, and that's why I kind of hate when people say, you know, just solely like cone area is king, and that's because a lot of woofers were big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just had a bigger woofer, you were just going to be naturally louder because there wasn't anything else out there at the time.
Right.
You know?
Well, you know, all things being equal, 6-inch driver, 8-inch driver with the same exact specs, minus the X-Max being different, or no, the X-Max being the same, all things being equal, cone area is king. If everything's equal, it's the same exact driver, yes, cone area is king.
Right.
But often people aren't talking about that. People are talking about efficient subwoofers that with large cone area.
Right, yeah, and they don't factor in the excursion properties, and you really have to put that into play, and that's why, you know, a lot of people are like, well, I don't want a kicker because it, you know, it has less X-Max than a Sundown, and it's like, well, at some points across the graph, it is almost right neck and neck with that woofer because of the more displacement. You know, but then it's like, what are you looking for? Are you looking for something that needs a lot of power and requires a smaller box? Then that sub's for you. Sundown or something American based, something that's got that type of whatever. Or if you want something a little bit more efficient, not saying Kicker makes the most efficient subs, but they are pretty efficient. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't take much. You can put 100 watts to them and it's like they're moving pretty good, you know, and then you don't need to put a bunch of power. Like this Solo X, man, put 2K on it, 2500 clamp. That's all she wants. You know, anything more, you're just taking a chance. And they rated things a little different back then than compared to today. So
Yeah. Definitely.
And that's what drives me nuts too. With like, they're like, oh well, the new Solo X is only 2,000 RMS, and the old one was 25 for the 10 and 12.
Yeah.
And it's
People
like, well,
get so caught up on the. This is one that gets me. I just got a comment again today about these little snowman pods right here. So
yeah,
people want to know what the individual RMS rating is. Totally get it. But here's what I'm gonna say: it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. At all, it doesn't matter, because whether you're running a 150 watt amp to your mids and a 150 watt amp to your tweeters, say it's a 4-channel, you adjust those to the level. Now, if you're trying to push these to the limits of what they'll take, don't run this set. Get a separate set and use it, because that's not what these are for.
right.
So, and they haven't listed a separate power handling, but I assume that the 2.7 inch is like 50 watts. The comparable one they sell, their tweeters are rated like 50 watts, 35. ish watts. So
Right, and that's the thing too. That's why I didn't really go with like the Q series for like their
Yeah.
6x9s and stuff, because it was a lower RMS, but it's a different type of speaker. It really
Yeah.
is. It's more geared for sound quality. But again, the RMS isn't really what you think it is when you're playing mids and highs. You're not playing a 40
Yeah.
hertz tone. You know, you're probably putting 15, 20, 30 watts of
Yeah.
actual power to it. But then I don't know how that really works, because it seems like you're not really putting that much power to it, but at the same time you start smelling your tweeters, or they stop
Right.
working for a minute. So
well,
I'm sure
you
there's
could- like tweeters. If you're overpowering your tweeters, you will know instantly, because those things are going to be stupid loud. And you'll be like, "Whoa, this is too much. I'm going to back these off."
right.
So unless you're running, if you're running compression drivers or bullet tweets, then yes, you can put a lot of power to them, and you're going to melt your face off.
Yeah, you almost don't even need that much power whenever they're, compression drivers, man. Those things will kill you.
Yeah, yeah.
They're a little rough. Let's see, we got a comment here. Stu's Custom Shop, thanks for tuning in, man. Tonality of your sub is also affected by the quality of power you run into it. What do you think about that? I feel like it's just... Yes,
At what
but no.
level? At what level? At 120 dB, yes. 130 dB, probably yes. 135 dB, we're getting into the range where it doesn't matter. 140 dB, it doesn't matter. 145. Once you start getting up to that range, you, with your ears, cannot tell a difference. And this, just my opinion. Someone may have super special ears that can hear up to 160 and tell small nuances in bass. But low volumes, I think this is true. Anything above 135, I question how true that is.
I know, I feel like if anything, it's going to be the signal to noise floor ratio and how the amplifier can control the sub. But then, like you said, at those higher dB thresholds, how well are you going to hear the difference between it whenever your ears are moving a little bit from the bass? Are you going to be able to hear it? I know with some amps I could tell a difference. It's just like it just didn't sound as good. I might have been just pre-clipping or expecting too much out of it, but I went back to my old amp and I'm like, man, this just sounds better.
Yeah.
So I feel like you said, at that threshold, yes, but that's sound quality. That's sound quality, and if that's what you want to go with, then sure. But you got to remember, just like anything, you got to pay for that stuff. But
Right.
whenever you're just trying to float hair, it's like, why do you think so many people buy the full bridge design cheaper amplifiers, man? They're flying off the shelf.
And what is, as long, and that's the thing, as long as they're rock solid, that's awesome. Like, at that point, you're looking for efficiency, you're looking for quality of the product. So you don't want to run something that's going to burn up and just be a piece of crap that you have to deal with all the time. So
Right. I feel like, within the right parameters, the cheaper full bridge amplifiers, no matter the brand, or just cheaper amplifiers that put out power, efficiency or not, if you know what you're doing, you can get it out of there, and not have a problem. But again, you still might run into something, maybe with quality control. You might just get a lemon a little bit more often because there isn't, a person checking every 100 of them to make sure that they're okay. They're just coming off an assembly line and that's it. And, if you got a problem, give us a call. We'll give you another one. But with the price involved, it all depends, man. And that's the best thing about this business that we're in, man.
well, and sometimes
We've got lots of
companies,
flexibility.
They make decisions. Like, I'll tell you, and I've amped out on one. The Kicker Q class are horribly inefficient amps. They're class AB level efficient, but they're class D. So this was done on purpose. This was a choice they made because they want this amp to give you this amount of power, whether it's at the bottom of 10 volts or it's up around 14.4 volts where it's rated.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a constant power, and they want it to perform even at those levels. So they sacrifice efficiency to make this happen.
Wow. I mean, but it makes sense. It's almost like loosely power regulated, almost like the slash amps with impedance, but
it's
voltage.
very regulated. Yeah.
Okay. Now that's another thing we could go down the rabbit hole about, with sound quality and fully regulated amplifiers, but I feel like JL's got it. Obviously, JL's JL, man. I look at JL and I think sound quality. Yeah, it might not be focal and everything else, but you know what I mean. That's a sound quality, more lean brand with their amplifiers and woofers, man. They're efficient too.
Oh yeah. JL's made a bunch of amps.
Oh yeah, dude. I never had one personally. I've
The Slash.
ran them in the lanes.
I don't think
They're
I've
nice.
ever had one either.
I feel like the 500.1 is the most common. I've seen some Slash 1v2s and stuff like that, but the 500.1, I swear I see it in the lanes all the time.
I think Derek told me that was the number one. He done the research, or somebody told me, Derek or Dean, that was the best selling amp of all time, the 500/1.
Wow. 125. Be sure to watch Beardy's documentary after. I'm gonna have to catch that. I know you got some good videos there, you and Deviant. William Lindsay, thanks for tuning in. Here we go. We got one here. With all things the same, car box power, what would move more air? 218s with 24 millimeters of X-Max or 215s with 30? Well, with my math that I have just scientifically created, like Einstein, I'm just kidding. Let's see which one would be in an estimate more movement of air, of how I'm deciphering it for someone wanting to compare the two. So if you got two 18s, so that's what's an 18? 273 square inches of cone area, I believe. So
something like that. That got them all, like, luckily, like Mecca and all them, they have them all set up.
Yeah, they got a little. They don't have to even do the math, man.
Like,
they just type
like
in how many subs. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we got 546. Hold on, we're gonna do this one. 546 times 24, 13,100. And then we got 215. So a 15 is, a 15 is 176. Wait a minute, two 18s is 254, isn't it? No, wait a minute. Hold on, I gotta do the math.
I'll look up.
I gotta do the math. 9 times 9 times 3.14, 254. So it's 254 times 2. I got this. 508, so it's a little bit less. So 508, bear with me, guys. 508 times 24. We got 12,200. Remember that number, Rob. 12,200 for the 18s. 215, so that's 176 times 2. 352 times 30. 10,500. So you actually have less with this math calculation that we're doing with the 215s that got more X-Max compared to the 218s that have less. So I feel like it'll get you in that ballpark.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like an estimation.
The only other factors is how much cabin area do you have in this vehicle? Are you going to be able to do? Are you assuming they both have the peak size cabinets that they need to make these work the most efficiently?
Right.
That's the only. If all that's being the same, you have enough cabin area for both. Because there might be a situation where you have a van where 218s are going to shine.
Right, it just works better for the vehicle or whatever.
Or you might have an Eclipse where the 15s are probably going to be a little bit better or a lot better than the 18s.
Yep, taking up less space to do the same amount of bass,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it's just an idea, just like when people have questions just like that, like what should I go with? And it's like they're not factoring other things, and down the road you're going to find out, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have put that giant box in my car, maybe I need something a little bit smaller. That's how you learn,
I just encourage people to experiment. Especially if you're doing something cheap, buy something cheap, experiment. That's the way you're going to learn. That's why I started my YouTube channel, because I was like, hey, I want to know these things. No one's testing this stuff. No one's telling me how much actual copper's in 1/0 wire. I want to know that,
No. And I love how you do that because, there are a lot of eBay wires out there, man. I bought one of them, for $29. You get a whole 0/0 run. How bad could it be? Let's just say 4 gauge of CCA. That's all you're getting.
Right.
Just, but there's other brands out there that might not be telling the truth about, what's in their wire and how many strands, and is it all insulation? I feel like some of them fudge on the insulation and be like, oh yeah, it's 1/0 and it's copper, but it's smaller. It's smaller. But then price.
Yeah. And how much different does that actually make? That's the thing I get. They talk too much about ideas.
13s used to just side jacking on RGAs and 99s. Sorry.
But how much difference does that actually make in a 20-foot run? I can't answer that. All I can tell you is this one's going to have more per foot than that one. Is that going to make a huge difference in your system? I can't tell you that. And my answer, honestly, is probably not.
Right.
But I just want to know.
Right. And I feel like you could probably do that with maybe oh, what would it be called? Internal resistance of the wire, like of the length,
Yeah.
to maybe get a power factor, but then you would almost have to apply power to it to see if like there's a voltage drop, like how Kicker does his like voltage
Right.
drop videos. I thought those were really cool. But with that minute of a difference, how much more
Right.
drastic is it compared to one or the other? And then I feel like it almost comes down to what works with you better, because you might just maybe need more flexibility in your
Right.
wire.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some people like to wire their amps on a ceiling. They gotta tuck it and bend it, and
Yeah,
do some
yeah.
crazy.
Well, see,
I would
I
never
do-
do that, but
I do the test with just the intention of giving people the information, but they don't just want the information. They want me to tell them what they should do. That I cannot do. I cannot tell you what's best or what you should do. I can tell you that this piece of copper has 20 more grams of copper per foot than this one or this
Right.
piece of wire. So you make what you will with that. You can talk about skin effect. You can talk about all this stuff. I wasn't testing any of that. I'm just telling you how much copper per foot is in there.
right, and it's gonna give you a very close estimation of what's going on because of the sheer
Yeah.
weight. Period. I mean,
See, RGA hit us with the skin effect. That's the one thing people want to talk about. But that is not what I'm measuring.
sorry, I'm way down in the comment section.
Yeah. Because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about raw copper. How much copper are you getting per? That's why I have it. How much copper you're getting per penny?
Right,
You know,
right,
so-
and that's what it comes down to. And how
Yeah.
many? I know you got a whole chart of it. How many brands of one-up wire have you tested?
34.
Holy crap, that's a lot.
34.
So that's like pretty much all of them, right? Or you got any more on your bucket list to get to?
I've got 4 more that I need to do, and I got to get time. I've got such a schedule planned out that I got
Right.
to make that work. But yeah, so there's more. There's plenty more. A lot of them are made by the same company. So
And that's what I feel like a lot of things are, like Power Acoustics and Planet Audio, aren't they intertwined in some
yeah.
way?
Well, Sky High OEMs for quite a few. So
Sky High's good wire too. It's
Oh, yeah, yeah,
expensive,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's good. It's good.
It's actually kind of It's
What's it
actually
like
not too
4?
bad.
Is it like 4 a foot or a little 450?
They raised it up though before the price.
Everything's
hikes.
going up. Yeah.
Yeah. But DC Audio is the same.
Really?
I think Brand X is also Sky High. You can always tell by the jacket.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
Wow.
They use a very flexible jacket.
That's crazy. I mean, it makes sense for them to do that to outship to other companies because they're buying in more bulk. They get a cheaper price, and then those companies are buying off
Right.
of them, and then they still make their cut. And
Yeah.
that's pretty
And
crazy.
If I had to put money on it, I would say the MVX and Kicker wire is exactly the same.
Wow.
as well.
And the NVX is probably half the price, or at least below it.
It's not quite half, but it's cheaper, definitely cheaper.
Wow. That's crazy. Now, like again, you said with like the jacket, relatively same jacket, and the OFC tinned. I
Tinned,
believe.
Yep, tinned, about the same amount of copper. It looks similar. It feels similar in the hand. I can't guarantee it, but it seems like if they didn't get it from the same place, they at least copied it very well.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, after you've seen how many that you did, you're
yeah.
I'm sure you'll be able to tell a few apart. That's crazy. Now, I don't know if this is anything that you freely say, but with your big 3 kits and the wire that you use, what brand, or is it just non-brand you're buying in bulk? Like, what kind of wire are we expecting when we get Hi-Fi Bagel wire?
I don't ever say a brand every time because I have to rotate. Because stock, it's hard to get this stuff, especially me, since I'm not buying in 2,000 foot rolls, which is what I would have to do to get my own custom wire.
Okay.
And you see how much copper wire is. It's $450 a foot minimum at the cheapest.
Right.
So you're talking $10,000. And
Easy. That's a lot. That's a lot to bite off. That's a lot.
yeah. So right now, what I have in stock is install gear. That's what I'm doing. It's not the biggest. It's not as big as Sky High as far as copper weight, but
Okay.
it's above like Stinger and them. It's
Nice.
more. It's a good value. I think you can buy it for like $450 a foot, $5 a foot right now.
Okay.
So I think
It's good wire. It's good
It-
wire. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good wire. It's flexible. I like everything that I like about it. So I won't use anything that I don't like. I've used brands, cheaper brands that I didn't like, and I just sold those kind of discount ones as a trial because I wanted to get them in. But yeah, install gear. I've used NVX wire. So I try to keep it to the ones that I actually genuinely like.
Right. Sounds like good stuff, though. I know I've been meaning to grab one of those Big 3 kits for my car because I have that welding wire on the for the Big 3 in my run.
Yeah.
But I didn't put that heat cover. What's that called? I know you know
the Techflex.
Yes, that thing.
Yeah.
I didn't put any on there, and it's like laying right above like the cam on top of the engine.
That's the thing about Techflex. It's actually, unless you buy the heat resistant, it's just aesthetic.
Really? So you need the heat? Is it heat resistant? Is yours heat resistant?
It's flame retardant. Means
Ooh.
it will not catch on fire, but it will burn. It will burn. Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome. So that's like perfect for anything under the engine. You want something that's flame retardant.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But if you set it on the manifold, it will melt.
Oh, of course, it gets too hot. Yeah,
It
mine
just-
is
it
just
just won't-
like
yeah.
it looks like whenever you put the marshmallow on, just a little bit too quick. You know, like that little bit,
Get
not
a little
black.
little melty.
Yeah, and it's like you push on the wire and you get a little crunch. It's like, man, I'm probably not getting all 320 amps out of my alternator right now. I gotta do that. I left this comment up here.
Sounds like you might need to reroute a little bit.
Yeah, you're telling me, man. And it's like I could probably still use a wire for something, but not for my Cookie Monster car. Like, no way, man. That needs upgraded. Because it's cool. You got them in different colors too. So I'm not trying to plug you in here, but I'm plugging you in here. I like your stuff, and I want to grab that. Plus, I don't have to do all the work. You already did it for me. So just put it together. Boom. Deviant here. Weekly reminder. Andy's Patreon starts just $1 a month. That's 12.5 cents per stream. Hey, we might be streaming 2 times a week now. I don't know. We're gonna see. They take PayPal and takes minutes to set up. Download the app and give him $12 a year. He rocks. Thank you, Deviant. Appreciate and love you, man. Hope you're doing okay. Thank you for the shout out.
Do it, man.
Got lots of comments, man. This is cool, man. This is cool. I missed going live last week because I was sick, and then my fish this Tuesday. It's just, you know what I mean. It's just stuff piling up. So
Right.
it is what it is, man. Let's see, Andy. When are you going to go? Wait, Andy, when you going badass home audio? Man, you know, I just moved my Kenwood speakers. They're actually nice. I got some KLHs and JBL. I got some home stuff. I just don't use it. That needs some parts, things. Kids and speakers, you got to watch what you have. My home audio setup consists of a Vizio 5.1, and it gets the job done. You know what I mean?
That's better what I got. I got a Polk soundbar. With
there you go. See, I couldn't do just the sound bar. It's like, man, the TVs are actually kind of keep up with just the sound bars to a degree. Right. But the main reason I wanted to get it is because the kids are so loud by the TV, so we can hear it. And then it turns out, oh wait, that's just rear fill. That's not like a left and a right. So that's not doing anything. But it sounds better. Just turn it up louder. I can't.
Oh man.
So what else you been up to other than putting these wires together? What else you been up to, man? I heard you got an Amp Dyno video coming up Sunday.
Yeah, I got an Amp Dyno. Matter of fact, let me give you the exclusive because I never even said what amp it was.
Oh, so. Yeah, you didn't. I didn't want to ask, but if he's gonna show it, he's gonna show it.
So if you're on Andy's stream, you're gonna see it first. Derek's doing the same one. People have asked me about this amp so much. It's the Amp 4000D.
Did you pay $50 for that thing? I wanted to grab one.
I paid $50 for it. You want to hear that? You want to hear the max power output, 4,000 watts.
Woo!
RMS power at 1 ohm. They give you an RMS rating.
Really?
1,000 watts by 1 at 4 ohms. 2,000 watts by 1 at 2 ohms, and 2,800 watts by 1 at 1 ohm.
That's definitely some Boss Audio ratings. But it's not, you know, it's more power acoustic. Boss Audio, they give you like 513 RMS and 1126. Like, they're weird. That's definitely some...
Exactly.
But, you know, for what it is, for $50, as long as you get over 500 watts, I mean, that's not terrible, right?
Yeah.
If you can get that. If you can even get that.
Well, see, the thing is, I bought it for 50. It's at 130 again.
Wow.
It bounces back and forth. So in my link, I leave a link to Amazon, which is where it's 116. I put a Walmart link in there, and I put a note: don't buy it until it's $50.
Wow. Just wait till it's on sale, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I tell people about the Kicker Kush. I was just talking to Jeffy about it, and then my buddy Richard the other day. They want these Kicker Kush. I'm like, dude, just wait till they're on sale. They're like $129, and now they're on sale. I'm like, Jeffy, you need to buy them. They're on sale right now.
Get them
yes,
now.
Come on, man.
I will tell you that it does much more than 500 watts. That blow pump.
Ooh, I mean, it says 4,000. I'm expecting at least half that. Come on, man. Give me something. Give me something.
Yeah. It does more than 500 watts. I will say that. You'll see.
So it's definitely
we're hitting it from two different ways. So and no one's Derek's tasting the same amp. We're gonna drop them at the same exact time on Sunday. So you'll be able to watch. You're gonna see this amp fully. Derek's gonna do it bump dough. We got the whole situation.
Nice. That's awesome, dude. You know what? I wanted to see that amp because I've been seeing people posting about it, and it's like, man, that's a steal. That's a steal. I thought it was like a typo.
Now. Dude, I've even got here. Let me see. You're not gonna be able to see it good like this, but do you feel focus?
Oh, 4,000 watts for $50. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's some good bait.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's funny, people love those videos, and like same. You know, it's not like you want to see the amp fail, but for the price you're paying, you know, for whatever it is, and it's claiming some crazy watts. But I mean, do you think amplifier ratings that are like, you know, like that? I mean, obviously they're still making that because that's a current product. But do you think that it will ever disappear completely?
No.
Or do you think it'll always be a thing?
It's always going to be a thing for sure. Because there's always suckers out there, and there's even enthusiasts in the Facebook groups that are still arguing that these do the numbers, or you know, these do. Now, if your argument is, well, this is $50 and it does X amount of power, this is the cheapest amount of power you can get for $50. The most power you can get for $50. That's a valid argument. That's a valid argument. But when you say, hey, I got a 4,000 watt Blanc Punk amp here, and I only paid $50. You paid what is it, like $1,300 for a Salt 4,000 watt amp? You know, that's what it is. It's like, have you seen those?
Oh, I know.
Salt 4K.
Yeah, those are nice. What does it do? Like 6K or something like that? It actually does like 6, I think.
Yeah, I think so, but they're expensive.
Oh well, that I know. I was watching the Sundown After Dark, and it's because they do well at low voltages compared to some of their other amplifiers, and if that's what you want, then that's what you're going to pay for.
You know who else?
That's almost like the Q class. What's that?
Kicker, the KX2400.
Mm-hmm.
But this amp is, so it's on sale now for $1,082, which I guess is not terrible. I mean, it's a quality amp, no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not cheap.
No,
not a cheap amp.
No. I know, man. It's crazy, but it's like, you know, if you want an amp that's going to last you until you want to upgrade, you know, and you know the power you want, you might as well pay. You might as well pay a little bit more so to get rid of the headache. You know, headaches hurt. And then, you know, calling me at 2 a.m. because you need another amp, you know, that happens. So instead of doing all that, you can just spend a little bit more money. But I mean, that's anything in life, man.
Yeah. And they've proven it in the lanes. You know, it's a proven amp, and people have been doing crazy things with them. Scott and Casey are doing crazy things with Salt amps. So, I mean, hey, they've proven their salt, so to speak. So,
I can't. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them. I like the design. It's different, you know what I mean. But the price is the price, you know. So,
yeah.
Absolutely, man. I lost some of the comments. I think I starred a few, but man, I think this one here from Mullen, I saved here. To me, efficiency usually costs you less money in the long run. Do more with less for less. Even though the enclosure might be bigger, is it better in the long run? Right. Just like how we were saying earlier with, like, you know, how much space do you have in your vehicle? How much space do you want to give up for your bass? That absolutely, man. You know,
because it factors into your life. It factors into your life. So if you build a huge enclosure in your Pilot, your Honda Pilot, you're gonna have a problem because you got kids to haul around, you got groceries to get, you know. So, like, what's it gonna cost you in life versus the efficiency you're gonna gain, you know, doing your setup.
Yep, there's give and take with this. What we do, man, there really is, and it's just, you know, you learn about it. It's like race cars, man. It really is. Like, you know, you got to have the engine, you got to have the transmission, the tires too wide, too small,
Yeah.
weight, the balance, everything. You know, everything makes a difference, and that's why it's cool. I like science as a kid, you know, and I wish I would have paid attention a little bit more. I probably would have got, you know, probably A's instead of C's. So, you know.
Yeah.
I can't. Let's see.
Fuego says
Deviant
I'm
with-
allergic to cheap amps.
Oh, you know
Sure.
what? That makes sense. Caleb be
I think
breaking
so.
out with them with, you know, those cheapo
The cheap
bracelets.
gold. Yeah.
Yep. Can't put
Yeah.
nothing cheap around her. That's,
I think girls made that crap up, man. My wife said the same thing.
He's scratching at
it. Like, you're making this up, man.
What's going on, Will? And late, what's up, Andy? Yo, high five, Vega. Thanks
What's up?
for all you both do. Hey, we appreciate you, man. We do. Let's see here. Any other comments you see? I don't know. We already been
dude,
on here
there's
almost
like-
an hour already.
There's
It's
like
fun.
almost 600 comments.
Woo!
They're killing it. They're killing it in comments.
I know, and I was like trying to have a conversation with you, and I got lost in the comments there. So if you guys got any questions, you know, I don't want to keep Rob here all night. You know, he's got to get up and stuff, and I'll probably just end an early live stream because we're probably gonna go live Tuesday after the Unmasked show, just because.
Just for fun.
So yeah, man.
Drew's gonna be on the Unmasked show.
I know.
cool.
I
Yeah.
know. That's cool. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know he builds or designs profab boxes. Is it for Down for Sound or Sundown? Is it Down for Sound? I remember him working with a company. Maybe it might be Sundown.
Sundown. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
So
he's
he makes-
killing it, man. He makes a bunch of designs for everybody. So
That's his day job, man. That's got to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
I mean, it's like what we do, but more. You know what I mean? It's his full-time job. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I'd be going nuts, but you know, at the same time, like you're doing car audio and you're getting paid for it. So
Exactly.
and you're working up and you know,
yeah,
shaking hands.
I mean, he seems like every time I've interacted with him, man, he seems like a totally cool dude. So down to earth. So I like him. I think he's cool.
Heck yeah, man. Spinning ain't it winning. Deviant's upset. He said this doesn't happen other nights. Listen, I know. But you know what? We had a crazy week. We all have had a crazy week. I've had a crazy week, and
Right.
we're here. We are here, and that's what matters. So, but absolutely, Deviant. You know, we'll see. 600 comments. Yeah, man. You guys are killing it. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, man. You know, that's why we do it. Let's see. This is what I'm doing half the time, just reading comments.
Yeah, just seeing what they got going on.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, check this out. While you're looking, I got a little beast grip for my,
Ooh.
or a little grip for my ZV1.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's like a mahogany, man. You paid
Yeah,
some
and
top
it's- see all
dollar
these-
for that thing.
See all these quarter 20s on it? And
Wow.
here's the most important thing. So when I got it on a tripod, it moves it over so I can get to the battery when it's on a tripod.
See, I have just the bottom. I was cheap.
Yeah.
I bought just the bottom. I didn't get the one with the side because I'm like, I ain't going to be doing TikTok with it. You know, I don't need it
Right.
sideways. But that's cool, man. I like the wood mahogany. It adds a kick to it.
I like it because it adds the handle. So this is so small that it makes it easier to grip like this.
Right. It almost gives you something more to
Yeah.
hold on to rather than this dinky little. Because it is a small camera, you know. But I
Yeah.
never had one of the big Nikons with the giant lenses. Always wanted
Right.
one. My sister has a nice one. But yeah,
This
so
is
it didn't
better.
really feel
This
too
is
small
better
for me.
than us.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is better than us. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy how technology, you know, just advances. And El Fuego's right here, man. They need us on there. They need us.
Oh yeah. Well, I talked to Bill Frog on the phone. I told him, I was like, if you need me, man, I'm free on Tuesdays. I can help you anytime you need it.
Right, man. Right.
So,
Need the
Drew,
people of
Drew's
the people.
gonna be there. It should be fun. Tuesday should be
Oh,
a
yeah.
pretty fun one. I'm gonna tune in for
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Heck yeah, man. I love his beard. It's the beard.
Yeah. Gotta be.
RGA. What's made of rich mahogany?
Is that like as an Anchorman comment there?
I think so.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch that. It's been a while.
Yeah. Number 2 was terrible. The first one was great. Wait, Dan, have you watched The Batman?
No, but I heard what's his name in it?
Robert Pattinson?
Yes, Twilight. Yeah, that guy.
Dude, the Batman's pretty dope. It's too long. It's dope. Definitely. a
Really?
watch.
Wow.
It's like almost 3 hours long.
Holy moly! It's like the Lord of the Rings or something.
Don't take the kids. Don't. The
no,
kids are they're gonna get restless.
That's the thing. It almost kind of worked in our favors with this whole everything going on. Movie theaters
Right.
closed. It's like, well, now we could just stay inside because it's hard taking little infants to the movie theater
Yeah,
or just,
yeah.
Crazy rambunctious Brysons, like they're,
Yeah.
Popcorn everywhere. Like it's just, it's bad,
Dude,
When
like
you-
it's not just your
Bryson's,
kids. It's like every little kid's an asshole. It's
oh,
just
you're
simple.
telling me.
It's just as simple. Like it doesn't matter when you're like when I was a kid, I was the same way. When you were a kid, I'm sure you were the same way. So
That's why I understand. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, oh man, he's this. And I'm like, well, he's my kid, I was
yeah,
ADD, HD, you know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah, that's how it goes.
crazy.
Yeah,
William talking crap on the Scars. The Scars sub looking like skirt with all them kickers around. I know he's outnumbered.
yeah,
See, that's the thing. I was thinking about doing a comparison video down the road of like maybe this 18 versus like the two SDR12s, but then I'm like thinking, because I was talking about this was Kayla, because she,
Yeah.
who else am I going to talk to about this stuff? So
Yeah.
I'm like, but then the two of the 12s are going to have twice the RMS because they all have the same RMS, 600 RMS. At least the 12 and the 15 and the 18. So I'm like, okay, well, what if I would go with the IX, like the series down or whatever, the DX, whatever it is, the entry
Yeah.
one, step down, but two 12s and then like almost identical RMS, about 500. Which one is better? I feel like that would be almost a better comparison. Plus the price would be around the same. What do you think?
I don't know, man.
It's tough.
The 18 people want to see the 18,
Yeah.
so it's like, I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough call.
Right.
You
It's
also
like-
because you got to balance it. Because from our perspective, we got to balance it to what the people want to see versus what we think's the best thing for us. So I'm always balancing what do I want and what do people want to see. I'm trying to find that balance of what I want to do and what people want to see. Most of the time, it leads towards what I want to do.
Yeah,
But
you
I
have
try
to,
to.
yeah.
I try to make sure that like I want to do something that people want to see.
Right. Trust me, like that boombox video, no one liked the second one. It's got like maybe like
Right.
200 and 300 views. But you know what I enjoyed doing? It was a lot of editing and pulled some hair out of my head, but it was something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's like when I done the comparison with the cable cutters.
yeah.
Dude,
Yep.
I edited for like 40 hours on that almost, and shooting videos and stuff. It's got like 1,500 views. Nothing.
Wow.
So,
crazy.
but the information's out there now. I put in the work. It's
And that's
something
a
I
video
wanted
that's
to do.
that's a
So,
video that's gonna slowly trend because people are gonna be
Yeah.
searching for it.
Yeah, and
Again,
if,
it's
if someone searches for it in 2029, it's going to be
Yeah.
there. I
They'll
tested
still be
a bunch
getting
of them.
paid. Yeah, exactly.
But it was just something I wanted to do as a passion project, and you have to do that every now and again. Otherwise, it's not fun.
Right, exactly. And that's what I was telling Kayla. I'm like, I don't want to go crazy over it. I do have to, make videos, make content for people because they enjoy it and, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like I do see them every week. We do go live every week and almost twice a week and sometimes other places, but that doesn't help me none as my channel. But, there's less growth with lives, because it's not like everyone's looking for this live. They're looking for a Solo X L7 Flex. That's what they're looking
Right.
for. So you do
Exactly.
have to make the content too. But
Yeah. Live is for the true, like the OGs, the fans. Like people don't respect. Like they should give you a lot more respect for the amount of live you do because it's not helping your channel. Truth be told, it's just you're doing it 100% for the people because what helps your channel is stuff that is clickable and trendable on YouTube, stuff that they can recommend, and they're not going to recommend a stream that's over an hour long. And matter of fact, like Harris Heller, I know you watch him because you mentioned him, and I watch him all the time. All his live videos, they're not on his channel. He goes live.
I know he does it separate.
No.
Oh,
he does
you
it
mean
on
he
the same channel.
untitles them? Yes.
He unlists them.
That's the thing.
So they don't mess up his algorithm. So people that watch it live can see it.
And then I get what you're saying because the click-through rate, because if someone doesn't click that live video, they don't want to watch it, it's not going to hurt his thing. The only reason I didn't do that, I did see that. I did do the short one where it doesn't post up as your video with the shorts.
Right.
But with the lives, I do get people that miss the show and they rewatch it. They do rewatch it. So
and that's
there's
why
that.
I leave it up too.
Right. But I feel like with his position of like his kind of content, and that's his. I know we do this as a side thing, but that's his main job. Between that and the Alpha Gaming, and
And
plus he's
the
got to
stream
teach us.
beats.
I know that stuff's.
that he-
I'll be
that he's
playing it in
killing
my car
dude.
sometimes, man. Some of it gets
Yeah.
down. It's like, okay.
No, but like on my channel in particular, like live streaming, income from live streams is probably 1%, I would say, and the videos are 99%.
Wow. You're dead on. You really are. You really are. Sam says I just got off the phone with Irby. He said Andy's office is ready to go. Moving bonus full 401k works. You know what? I'm just going for the insurance and the benefits, man. You don't get nothing when you're a subcontractor. Oh man, when the day comes, and you know what? I'll be sad to leave if that day does come, but at the same time, I'll be excited as heck, man. Shoot.
Oh yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, we get with Stillwater though. So.
Right, yeah. I'll have Dorothy ready. I'll have my pickup truck, and I'll be a tornado chaser on the side.
There you go.
My MREs and my bunker with the system. You know it. Oh, look at this. El Fuego says they're painting VIP parking spots for us. I know. I want to go down there this summer. I know. We were both talking to James about it, James Chowders. I have to figure out everything. I do. We're doing that, I'm doing that. I want to definitely stop down Kicker that time too, because you know what I mean. We're right down.
There.
Shoot, might as well. So.
Oh yeah.
It'll be a crazy summer, but one step at a time, man. Holy moly.
Yeah, I'll be there. It's just 2 hours from me to Shawnee, and I'll probably go to the base wars before. And it's 2.5 hours to Kicker from me. So.
I know it's.
nuts. And both the kids moved out now, so we got a spare room. So if you need a space to crash in between, I'm kind of by them places.
That's awesome, man. Trust me, I got you in mind for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Let's see, any more comments before we end this? Because I think we covered a lot, man. We got deep in everything, the wire, the cone area, my scientific method of loudness worked.
Yeah.
I did try it once before, but I've tried things like this of like what is your base number by like your frequency, your power, your cone area, and like just like as like a joke, and where people just type and it goes viral or something, at least on the basehead pages. And I feel like this one actually kind of worked. It's simple, doesn't give you a real number, but it gives you an idea of like comparing the two. Apples and apples, but we got oranges too. We have to throw in there to see the difference.
Exactly.
John, thanks for tuning in, man. Hey, what shows do you go to work at? If I can, I want to make the pilgrim down south to PA. Haha. Well, I have my Team SP Loud shows in PA. That's locally. That'll be in May, like literally 2 weeks before Slamology, and then 2 weeks from then I'm going to Slamology, then that's out in Indianapolis. But if you don't want to make the trek out there, I'll have a show at the end of May. I'll let you know when we get a little closer. I got to talk to Dan anyway. He doesn't like answering my phone, but he's just like Dean. I got a Dean too, man. He's always installing, he owns his own shop and everything. It's insane,
right.
Man. So, but yeah, absolutely, dude. We definitely need to meet up for sure.
What days? When is Slamology?
That's June 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Dude.
That's
Yeah,
Friday
I
to
can't make it
Sunday.
this year.
Oh, come on, man.
We're going on a cruise. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the 13th.
I mean,
you'll
make it. You'll make it.
Yeah, out of New Orleans. Yeah. But yeah, so I got a little extra vacation, so I'm going to make some shows. I don't know what.
Don't, Andy. Don't what? What'd I do? Rob, Andy, keep doing your thing. Thank you, Dave. And thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you. Okay, I think I'm caught up. And, got one more question here. Dub Team, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. Low power build would be better for efficiency rather than a big power build for numbers. I think that's almost like the question before, a little bit, but worded differently. Man, low power build better for efficiency rather. I mean, you're gonna if you have a low power build that's more efficient, and then you have a big power build that's not efficient, But if they do the same score, then they're the same thing. But then does it work? Which works
Right.
better for you? Do you have like a big SUV? Can you give up all your space in your vehicle to do that? Do you want to pay for 4 alternators instead of 2?
Yeah.
There's
Exactly.
a lot of variables. Can you know how to build a quad alternator bracket and fit it all in your serpentine?
Exactly.
God, you know, so it does come down to it. But then if that's your end goal, maybe you want something that just, you know, needs more power and you can fit a bunch more in there.
Yeah. You should always design your system as efficiently as you can, but efficiently in every aspect. Efficient in power consumption, efficient in space, efficient in time. So you should be trying to do everything you can as efficiently as you can.
Absolutely, man. Because it really does come down to it. Honestly, 100%.
And like you said, based on finances of the owner also. So that you should spend your money efficiently.
RGA is not having fun because we're not side jagging enough. I think that's what he means by it. But RGA, thank you for tuning in, man, and I like your stream too, man. It's really cool because it does connect with the inner community. 100%, man. I like what you're doing. I mean, it's different. It's different, and he's doing a good job, man. Awesome guy. Oh, don't storm chase. Oh, why not? No, I'm just kidding. I can't. Yeah, that'd be fun though. I mean, it's scary, but it's like if you are down there, I mean, because he just had to deal with that stuff too. I was in a tornado one time at work, but it was like maybe 400 meters away from where I was working at UPS. But I was in the freaking, you know, the trailer, and it's just like it's moving like just a little bit, and I'm like, yo, and then like siren going off. Everyone get to the basement. I'm like, what?
You know what's scarier than that? Driving in Philadelphia. And that ain't no lie, man. I'm not lying at all.
I've never had to go there,
the time.
fortunately. I've heard
Dude.
stories.
Yeah, or parking in Philadelphia. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, farthest east I've been is in Pennsylvania, really, like Harrisburg. I've driven up to New Jersey and New York, but I've never been to Philly, and I don't know if I want to go down there. I don't think I'm missing anything.
It's an awesome city, but yeah, it's just driving is terrible. Because my brother-in-law and them live pretty close to Hershey. My wife's brother, they live in Pine Grove, really small little town.
Jeez.
So
that's crazy.
About 20 minutes away from Hershey. I think Allentown's the closest decently sized town.
I've heard of Allentown. I've heard of that. Yep.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
A lot of Amish people.
Yeah. Lancaster.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, I was just watching a documentary about that last night on the way home from work. It's crazy, man. I feel bad for them. I really do. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, their religious values, my religious values, kind of the same, but at the same time, it's like, man, they're just being hindered, and it's like there's no reason for that. But I see them at Sheets sometimes, and it's probably you know what? It's making me think. I'm like, maybe those are the ones that are like outcasters, or
they
you know
might
what
be
I mean?
Mennonites.
But they're still...
They might be Mennonites.
Right.
Yeah.
My great aunt was a Mennonite, so absolutely, man. That's cool though. Facebook user, you're late because we're probably just about to sign off, but we'll be here again Tuesday. You're on the Kicker Club watching this. So we'll be here Tuesday after the Kicker Club. And, of course, Friday at 10 o'clock. So,
you got to get Bobby. You got to get Bobby after the Kicker Club.
Yeah. I'm going to get him. Yep.
Who else?
Who
else? Kicker's 2 biggest Kicker fans.
Well, that's why I was like, if I'm going to bring anyone on the Unmasked After Show, it's got to be Bobby, man. He is in the comment section like, bang, 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 bang.
Hey, listen,
sharing
Bobby
all
represents.
Stuff.
Bobby will he'll throw some bows with you over Kicker.
I think what I'm going to do, though, I'm going to be like, Bobby, listen, we gotta pre-set up, get your mic going, get everything going, so when you're gone, you're good, you're going. We need to hear you and see you, Bobby. We need to do it. We'll have some fun.
Yeah, Bobby, we're calling you out. Get ready, Bobby.
He says...
We want to see your beautiful chin beard.
Hey, anytime, RGA. Oh, I'm sure everywhere. They are. They originated in Lancaster, which is crazy. It's like, man, that's like an hour and a half away from
And they call us the English.
Yeah. And they all speak Pennsylvania Dutch. They got their own thing. And it's crazy, man.
My brother-in-law's wife, so she comes from that. So she can speak a little bit, you know.
Oh, wow.
Kind of
That's
like
awesome.
that. Or she can at least understand it, maybe. I don't know what the exact situation is, but yeah. Because they have the Amish, they own a trailer company, and the Amish wheeled up a lot of their trailers for them.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Well,
I don't know how they get power. They have power to weld them up. But...
I know they're allowed to use batteries.
Yeah.
But how do they charge those batteries? I don't know.
Are they doing lithium? Like.
Yeah. I seen the guy. He had a regular car battery. I'm like, man, that ain't gonna last too long, man.
Like, bro,
they have to keep their phone. They have to keep their phones outside of their house. They can have phones outside of the house. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Listen, RJ, we're sidejagging now. We're talking about Mennonites and Amish.
Yeah, you should be happy. Generators, you're right. They probably hook it up to a horse and then have the horse just walk around, dude, and then hook it right up. It'll work. Yeah. Or they could just sit there and crank it all day. You know what I mean? Yeah. Got to do something.
Hey, they're hard workers, man. Okay.
I know. And it is crazy because not the whole thing is great, but some of their values are, it's almost better in some ways because it's like your kid's phone, your face isn't in his phone, and you know what I mean. He's out working and learning skills, and
But then they get 18 and they get to experience the world. And they're like, they just get blasted with it. It's like, whoa, I bet that's intense.
I didn't know that was a thing until last night. I was watching. I'm like, oh, so they go wild for a couple years and then they have to just go back.
Coming back. Yeah, they don't have to go back though.
They don't.
But if they don't, then they get shunned.
Oh, shun the non-believer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy, man. Oh, there's James. Sorry, guys. Real late. I'll listen to podcast tomorrow. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, you can always rewatch it. I sometimes rewatch my own podcast. Are you guilty of that, Rob?
No, I never want to. Listen, I don't even know what I said. Someone will be like, oh, you said this last week. Like, I don't know if I did. Did I say that?
I can't. That's crazy, man. I just watch, I don't watch the entire thing from
beginning. Looks kind of Amish.
He does. He does.
He does.
I can see it.
He's got too many toys, though. So we know he's not Amish.
No. He got too much power. You can't have any. But all right, man. It's been fun. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you got anything else to say to these guys real fast, let them know.
No, that's it. Watch the ball punk. Amp. Sunday. Me and Derek. Dropping them both.
Absolutely. I know. I'm looking forward to that, man. That's going to be pretty cool. Because you guys are testing it 2 different ways. So in 2 different reviews on the same amp, same day. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in and watching. Rob, stick with me till the end after the pre-roll. You know how it is. But again, thank you for joining me tonight, man. Appreciate it. Always do, and everything you do.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Heck yeah. As always, everyone, stay living loud. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.